In 1977, a man named John was fishing alone when his boat capsized. The water was 4 degrees. He said afterward that in the first seconds he felt peace, a peace he had never felt while awake. In the same year, a woman named Sarah survived a house fire. She said what scared her most wasn't the pain, it was the strange silence that came before her. Today, you'll discover what happens inside you, in the body, in the mind, in these 2 scenarios, and the answer may surprise you, because perhaps the worst ending isn't what you imagine. Imagine you're in the water. It doesn't matter how you got here. What matters is what happens now, second by second. In the first 30 seconds, your body panics. Not you, your body. And there's a huge difference between those 2 things. Your breathing speeds up without you asking. Your heart races. Your muscles want to fight, swim, respond. But everything seems to freeze at once. That's the immersion shock. And it kills more people than the drowning itself, because at that moment, the body is still trying to save itself. Yet it's already begun to lose the fight. After 1 to 3 minutes without air, something changes. The brain begins to release substances that, in other situations, appear in deep meditation, in altered states of consciousness, in extreme collapses. Endorphins. Some researchers call this a surrender response. It's as if the body says, "I did what I could, now rest." Many survivors describe this moment as calm. Some speak of flashes of memory. Others say fear vanished. Not because drowning is gentle, it isn't. The first minutes can be terrifying, but the end is often not. A study published in Swiss Medical Weekly analyzed 26 cases of people who nearly died by drowning and were resuscitated. Most described the final experience as not painful. That doesn't make drowning gentle. It just reveals a strange truth about the human body. In certain situations, when it perceives it cannot win, it begins to disengage in a nearly merciful way. Now, let's go to fire, and here, the story changes. Fire and water are opposites in almost every way, including how they affect the human body. In the first seconds of contact with intense flames, pain receptors, nociceptors, fire at maximum frequency. It's the highest alarm the body can emit. It's pain, heat, threat, urgency, all at once. But there's something few people know. In 3rd-degree burns, the deepest, pain can diminish or even disappear. Why? Because the nerves have been destroyed. The fire burned the pain-sensing system itself. This isn't relief, it's extreme damage. Many people imagine that the worst part of a burn is the moment it happens. But for some survivors, the worst comes later. David Winfield survived a fire in 1994. He suffered burns on 60% of his body. He said in an interview that the most intense pain wasn't during the fire. It was in the weeks that followed. It was every dressing change. It was every bath. It was every moment of recovery. The fire itself. He remembered heat, not pain. This isn't coincidence. It's physiology. And there's another crucial detail. In most fires, what kills isn't the flames. It's the smoke. Carbon monoxide enters the lungs before the person realizes it. It quietly replaces oxygen in the blood. The victim starts to feel sleepy, confusion, disorientation, and then nothing. In a sense, many deaths in fires resemble deaths by drowning, losing consciousness before the end. No acute pain in the final moment. But that doesn't make the process any less terrible. It just shows that the body, at its limit, tries to conserve energy until the last moment. So, which is worse? The honest answer is, it depends on how it happens, but you can compare what science and survivor accounts show. When we speak of drowning in cold water, the first minutes tend to be terrifying, but the end can be relatively calm. When we speak of burns in a closed fire, the first seconds can be agonizing, But smoke often knocks out consciousness before the worst. When we speak of burns in open air without smoke, the scenario changes completely. That can be the most brutal scene. No protection of consciousness loss caused by smoke. No peace of mind that some drownings bring at the end. That may be the worst of worlds. But here's something almost no one tells you. The greatest suffering, in both cases, is usually not the moment of death. It's the moment before. It's knowing it can happen. It's realizing you could die. It's the human brain being cruel to itself, imagining the worst while there's still time. Drowning survivors rarely describe the last seconds as the worst moment. They describe the instant they realized they were losing control. Burn survivors rarely say the worst was the flame. Many point to the months that follow, the pains, the procedures, the recovery, the reconstruction. In other words, the body suffers, but the mind often suffers first. And perhaps that's where the most human part of all lies. So what does this comparison truly teach us? That the human body was built to survive. And when it can't survive, it was built to protect itself from itself. The peace John felt in the cold water wasn't weakness. It was the body doing the last thing it could do for him. The absence of pain Sarah felt before being rescued wasn't luck. It was the organism collapsing in the way it knew. We are fragile creatures, but we are also incredibly adaptable ones. Creatures who feel too much. Creatures who fear too much. But also creatures who, at the limit, sometimes find calm where there should be only chaos. If this video made you think not just about death, but about what it means to be alive, share it with someone you want to stay here. And tell me in the comments, which of the two has always frightened you more? Drowning or burn? No judgment. It's a question every human being at some point has asked.